all, nice to meet you guys. Welcome to my channel. This is Metal Fusion, and we are from Argentina, South America, so greetings from here. You have a lot of history as musicians, and I know that this industry has its up and downs, but how do you feel looking back to the past and seeing how much you have gained through all these years?
That's a great question.
Yeah, really good question.
Well, I mean, for me personally, like this is the year that everything started to happen for us, you know, in terms of our success. And God, I look back at like 10, 15 years ago and suddenly all the bands I used to idolize are label mates suddenly. And you know, we seem to kind of have caught up in that respect. And that's very exciting. I wish I could go back and high five myself when I was starting out in my career.
Okay. Guys, do you want to talk about a little bit? Do you want to tell us
Talk about
something?
Yeah. I mean, I totally second that as well. I had no idea this was going to happen. I mean, after the pandemic, it was kind of like, okay, I guess this is over. It's fine. You know, we'll be a studio band for a while. We'll probably never tour again because, you know, there's no venues and everything. And just everything was just really kind of over. And we'd spent so long building up a band as an independent thing that when everything kind of fell apart and all, you know, we lost like our booking agent and our tour manager in America and everything just totally folded. And we were like, okay, that's fine. And that's when we decided to make like a really weird album. And I took Hex to Anna and just said, like, look, I've got this song with all these crazy time signatures. I don't want to make something that people will like. I don't want to make something that's for anyone else. Let's just have some fun because we never know what we're going to tour again or anything. And then as Hannah said, this is the year that everything just happened. So it was like a complete surprise that we're actually even here as this band because I just didn't see it coming at all. It was almost like the minute we let go of it, then everything exploded. So I wish I could go back and tell my older self, you know, that keep going, it's fine.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Anna, do you want to say something?
It's Mish summarized it pretty well. I think for all of us, for sure, like that it was important to know we did. I mean, I did lose hope as well, at least for like band wise. I know that I would still be happy with the skills and. I never imagined I would be friends with some of my drum idols and geeking out about it. Like for example, Virgil Donati is one of them. Like we geek out sometimes and just like it blows my mind. I can do that. As I never imagined that when I started drumming, and then now is that on the band level as well. And I was saying like it's. What's going on now with our music, it's the music I want to be doing. I always wanted to be doing weird proggy stuff that is just not really like that is very genuine. It feels very genuine music with genuine friends. And then like it's the thing that you never think could happen. It just seems too good to be true. So yeah.
Yeah, what's the catch?
yeah I'm waiting for the fucking
Well, just like I said, luckily for me, I had the pleasure to listen to this whole record. I couldn't sum it all up just in one take. I mean, you need to listen to it many times to realize what is happening. I mean, the final seconds, for example, of the first song are truly insane. Like, what the hell is this? The first track, the first track is kind of a portal which leads us to this unknown dimension, which is Hex. How did you come up with the idea of creating such kind of musical experience? There is a lot of information to digest.
Well, I think it's worth noting that we're all creatives in the band. We're all writers. We all have other projects that we do. Like we're all multi-instrumentalists. We all do a lot. And I think when you put people like that together on one song and you allow everybody to have their own kind of input to it, then that's when you get something that's truly, I think, interesting because you have so many different things going on. But somehow I think we've managed to balance it and make it just about listenable. So I guess like what we really wanted to do with Hex is just have a lot of fun. And so we just kind of let everything go. We were like, let's just write something crazy. I don't care if people like it or not. I just really want to write something that's really, really crazy. And Hex came out of that. And I knew I wanted the last bit of the song to be like a horror scene where you can't look away. You want to, but you just can't. And it kind of holds you and just goes on and on and on, and then just kind of stops. But I think with that particular song, what about it is it draws you in and you don't feel it's happening until it's kind of too late, and then you're just stuck in this kind of horrific ending. So I guess in a way it was just a bit of a joke for us, you know. We were like, let's just write something just ends so horribly.
My brother described the end as a demonic printer, which I thought was quite accurate.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. There's a song called Flinch too, which is one of my favorites. It has a strong atmosphere. I could not breathe for 1 second while listening to it. The mix of such intense vocals and clean melodic lines, it's something totally unexpected for me. I mean, I need to know right now who is responsible for this track, because it's such, I don't know, a crazy experience. Okay.
Again, it's kind of all of us. I mean, with this particular song, actually, Gary had the riff, and Gary writes riffs and he lays them down. And he said, "Oh, I think I've got a riff for a song." So I listened to it and I was like, "Yeah, this is a great riff. This is definitely going to be in a song." And currently, at the same time, I was obsessing over this chord progression that I'd written that was really jazzy and really dreamy, kind of like Deftones, but like one step further, I think, chord wise. And I had this really obsessive chord progression. I hadn't written any of the melody at all. It was one of the songs that had the structure first. And then we sort of just literally stuck those two bits together and it just really worked. It was really, really weird. But I think we were like, let's write a song that's completely in opposites and see what happens. And then we just thought it'd be really, really like funny to put a string quartet right at the beginning, just to make it even more confusing that you don't know what's going to happen until the song kicks off. So yeah, all of those elements kind of working together. And I think that's why we called it Flinch, because you go into it like what's going on and then you're like, what the hell, you know, and there's like a reaction of like almost like what's happening here, like it's like an assault on your ears. So it was kind of all of us putting it together in that way, but it was pieces that we just fitted together that time, and just for once it seemed to work.
Okay, and I had the same reaction with Shift. I remember myself thinking, what were you thinking while creating this masterpiece? Because the bass lines are so addictive. In fact, it feels like it is leading the whole song to scary places. But it's enjoyable at the same time. And those vocal games in the middle of the song are, I don't know, are something truly magical. Closer to the end of the song, we have an amazing combination of instruments that gives us a little taste of what you're capable of working together. You guys have created something unique. I don't know if you're aware of what you made with this record.
Thank you very much.
You've definitely done your homework. This is amazing. Yeah.
It's truly confusing. It's just like you said, it's something unique. You have, while listening to it, you have strong feelings. Like it's a real roller coaster full of emotions and different kind of sensations too. I don't know, it's something totally unexpected. I've never heard something like this before. So for me, it was a total surprise, I have to say it. Illuminate, it's something that I have never heard too. The song has a lot of ups and downs, but it also has some sort of gothic atmosphere. How do you manage to create these epic sounds? What is the starting point for something like this?
I guess most of the songs start with I write a lot on piano. So the previous band that we were in, I used to play piano for, and we decided with this band that we weren't really going to have any piano. It was going to be metal, but a lot of the music is still written on piano, and I think that's maybe where the sort of softness and the classical parts come from. For me, that's my input really, is I write a lot of the structure of stuff on the piano, and then when you put that into a metal atmosphere, something changes and it sounds like our unique sound. Gary writes a lot of riffs as well, so the riff from Shift had already been written, and then we just find the right song and place for it. But we all just bring ideas to the table and just try and fit them together. And I think we just allow each other to have the space to put our own parts in. So I might start off on the piano, but the song very much doesn't finish like that. We just see where it goes, and we bounce it backwards and forwards. Like, we each have our own little home setups and studios. So what we can do is make a demo and then bounce it over to Anna to add some drums, and then Hannah to add some cello, and we sort of all just give it all space and then see what happens. And then that song gets refined and then refined and then refined until it's absolutely the way that all of us have it in our heads. So yeah, but Illuminate was written on piano at first, and then you know, it was when it went to the band that it grew and had these bigger sections. So yeah.
Yeah, and Opulence, for example, has something truly unique. First of all, it's one of the scariest songs that I have ever heard in my whole life. It gives you goosebumps with every note that you play. We can also hear Meshkin's influences on this track. Those different vocal lines being executed together, they sound like a church choir. How do you make the decision of, okay, this is a song, this is how we want it to sound like, these are the resources that we have, but we're going to use this one specially? I mean, how do you select the resources that you're going to use in a song?
I just have to share that Hannah told me that she was meditating one night and then she fell asleep, and then her phone went on to shuffle and she woke up listening to Opulence and said it was the most
horrifying. It was horrifying. It was the worst wake up I've ever had. From this like beautiful, you know, calming meditation track, binaural beats, and then
it's truly scary. That's right. That's the right word. Something that I have to say about this record is that I wasn't sure about what I was going to hear the day that the label sent it to me. Track number 7, Joyless, and track number 9, Tasks, gave me exactly what I wanted to hear. Something out of this world. I mean, it is incredible that you are not afraid to experiment with different styles in a good way, you know. This is your first album as Crimson Veil, and it's full of freedom. I don't feel any kind of pressure because it doesn't sound like any other band. How do you see this first record as your first step?
Well, we're quite proud of the fact that we don't sound like anyone else. If there's little elements that sound like other people, yeah, because I'm not scared to plagiarize, rip other people's rips off. But in general, yeah, like when you put it all together, it sounds quite unique. So yeah, but I think we're happy with it. As happy as we can be.
Yeah, I think it's nice that you say you don't feel pressure as a listener as well, because that's what we want people to feel. We've always been a band that's appealed to the weirdos and the misfits, and I think that carries on into our metal outfit, and that we want, it's kind of an inclusive thing. We want to appeal to anyone who enjoys the sound. It doesn't it doesn't kind of have to appeal to one type of person.
Yeah,
and I think that it's probably also due to the fact that we have so many different influences. We don't all listen to the same stuff. We disagree on many things, but we all agree on a panel of things, and they seem to just be kind of just about to fit together to give that sound. But that's the reason why it's quite unique, because I'm pretty sure a lot of things were not tried together before. And he was just like, well, we'll see what happens. You know, we wrote these songs for us and not to create something already premeditated. Like, it's not something we say, oh, we want to sound like that and we want to sound like that. We said like, no, let's write something weird that we like. And then that came out. We were not expecting it to go anywhere, sincerely. So glad that it took off.
So, how was the songwriting process for you guys? I mean, how did it take to you for like creating this album? When did you start brainstorming about what you wanted to do?
I think what we decided to do, once we had all the sort of bits pieced together, we kind of started to hear what the sound was like. But I think really what our music is about is a balance between light and darkness, and that's kind of what goes on in the music. We've got these moments of absolute like terror, like the end of Hex is just absolutely brutal. If you just had that, it would be too much and it would be too kind of intense, and then you're kind of just getting into the sort of like really dark side of metal. Whereas we've got these other sections that are really rich and really melodic, almost a bit jazzy in parts and light and kind of, you know, and the two blend together. And I think that's what our sound has accidentally happened, you know, and we're sort of receiving this as feedback from the fans who first came to see us. You know, this is what reviews were saying. They're saying there's a balance between light and dark. And I think that's really what our sound is about. And it doesn't matter what music we're playing, you know, it will be under the metal banner, but really I think that's what our music is doing, is it's this sort of like balance between the two. And you can hear that in almost every song. There's like moments of light and moments of dark, you know, and Flinch is like the perfect example of that. It's just, you know, it's one and then it's the other, and it's a very clear definition between the two. With something like Illuminate, you get like it blending together and then growing and stuff like that. So I think that's really what musically we try to do. Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear, but I have another question, and it's about the name of the band, Crimson Veil. Who was responsible for this name?
We had that brainstorming WhatsApp group, so I guess everyone we were just like throwing ideas for weeks because all the good names were taken. It was quite frustrating a few weeks actually. Oh, great, yeah. Oh no, that exists already.
Yeah. And I think we
and
all get taste, don't we?
We had Veil in one side and we had Crimson in another idea or something like that. And then we had the idea of can't remember who actually had the idea of combining both, but
okay. And what about Hex, the title of the album?
Yeah, I wanted to call it Hex since many years ago. I don't know why. I was just like, that's a really, really cool title for an album. It's really one word, really straight ahead. And it does sound like a hex. I think it sounds like it's something that's kind of like draws you in and then you can't escape it, which I think is very hex-like. And then we decided that, well, all of the songs would just have one word titles. So you're kind of like, they're all quite mysterious because it doesn't tell you really anything of what's behind it. It's just this one word, and then you explore it, and then, you know, so yeah, I think it was a cool title. I mean, we all had so many different ideas for the band names as well, and then like two of us would really like it and then one of us wouldn't, and there was a lot of like backwards and forwarding. I mean, I wanted to call the band like some pretty terrible things, but I was thankfully vetoed, so it's good we all kind of found a name that all of us liked. You know, I'll just have to like start a side project with my terrible band.
Rampant tag.
Yeah, I wanted to tag, but I was vetoed, thankfully. You know, it's not a great name.
What is the meaning behind the cover art? Because I see those symbols around the cover. I don't know, what does it mean?
Again, it's just this really like occult vibe. I think that's everybody's arms in the band. I know I'm at the front, but it's everybody's arms, and I think it's kind of like
the
yeah, and around the edge there's demonic symbols.
Solomon's Gleesh.
Yeah, from the Lesser Key of Solomon. There's a lot of like demonology references in the music as well. But I think like the many-armed thing, it's just, again, it's kind of like our music. It's a bit of a frightening image. It's quite unsettling, and you don't really know what it means, but there's many parts to it, and everyone's kind of parts are.
We all got naked for the photo shoot and kind of just wrapped around each other, so it's quite creepy in itself.
Yeah, that was an interesting day.
That was a bonding experience, but weird.
Yeah.
Let's not do it again. I did say let's not do this again. Like, just saying.
That was kind of a ritual, something like that.
Yeah.
They're going to take my soul and my body, and I don't know what's going to happen here.
my clothes, yeah.
That's something
You'll
very
have
funny.
to come and see us live for the real ritual to be witnessed, you know.
I really want to see you live, guys. I mean, I heard this album and I cannot imagine what you can do. I mean, taking it to the next level on stage. I'm very curious about what you can do. But would you like to share your personal feelings about this new chapter in your life? I mean, how do you feel being part of this new project and putting this album out? Because today it is yours, but in a couple of months, it's going to be part of people's lives. It's not going to be just like something personal. It's going to be out for the rest of the world. How do you feel with all of these things?
Oh, I'd like people to hear it, really. It's taken long enough to make. It's about time people heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think bring it on, definitely. Like, I can't wait. It's been ages coming as well, because we had the album and we kind of had to sit on it for quite a while we got signed to this label and agree on many things, and we changed the band name, and actually it kind of feels like it's already been out for us for years, really, you know. So for me personally, I can't wait. You know, I can't wait for the people who love it. I can't wait for the people who hate it. I want love and hate in equal amount, you know.
We've even got reaction videos now.
Yeah, it's quite exciting. Yeah.
Girls, Hannah, Anna.
For me, it was kind of like what I already said before. It was like kind of a dream come true to release such a weird album, you know. I always I was never quite interested in playing big stages if that's not my drum parts. I just want to be sharing my voice and my weird ideas, and I know I'm quite geeky, and so I'm glad that I managed to find some other equally as geeky bandmates to just make music that would alienate everyone. And that's there's just no better music I would be so happy to release at such big scale. So as you say, and then you beautifully said it, I'm glad that it's going to be in people's life, whether they hate it or love it.
Yeah, I would agree with Anna in the sense as well that I think each of us could have gone down the session musician route and probably found a band that was doing well and taken a shortcut, you know, being a musician in someone else's project. And I'm just so glad that all of us held out for a band and for the music that we want to make, and actually held out to have success with something that's so personal to all of us. So that's a really exciting thing.
Yes, I was asking this question because I mean, I talked to a lot of bands through all these years, and some of them told me that it's something very scary. I mean, when you have to put your album out and you have to give it to the world, and it's like your baby. And
I feel like it's like we created this big bowl of darkness.
Yeah.
And we're like, here you go, world. That's you.
You feel a bit now.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what did we do, guys? What did we do? Is this all right? Like, is this okay? Are we really? It's all right. And if you get very upset, I think.
Oh, just in case I'm too happy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, go around collecting other people's happiness.
Yeah.
And tears.
Do you guys have any expectations of taking it to the next level? I mean, taking it live on stage, maybe a tour. I don't know if a world tour is the correct term, but maybe just to promote it live.
Yeah, we would love to tour. We toured with Lordi obviously this year, which was an incredible experience. We're really lucky to do that. And we played one festival so far in the Czech Republic. We think next year is going to be really busy for us. We have a booking agent in Germany who's trying to get us shows. Obviously, you know, we're still starting out with this project, so we need to build up like a fan base. We, you know, hoping that when the album comes out, it will turn a lot of heads, and then we'll get better opportunities for touring. But yeah, we would love to tour as much as possible. We want to get the band name out there, and we all love performance live, and you know, and it's a great time for us to all be together on the road and spend time together as a band and bond. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to whatever next tour. We haven't got anything confirmed yet, but that's definitely on the cards.
Okay, that's great to hear. I'm sure that this album is going to break so many boundaries. It's full of, just like I said, it's a roller coaster, and it's going to be like in people's lives, and it's something truly unique. I just can't stop listening to it. I still do. So I will keep listening to it until the release day. Thank you for being here with me. It was a real pleasure for me to talk with you, to talk with this amazing band finally. We hope to see you soon playing live around the world, because you deserve it, guys. I mean, you put so much work in everything that you do, and I cannot wait for the entire world to listen to this masterpiece.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks to you guys. Well,
Right.
see you next time. Hope to see you soon in South America. We want to see you here.
That would be amazing.
That would be
Fingers
amazing.
crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I wish you the best, guys. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
very
us.
much. Thank you.
Thank you. See
Bye.
you. Bye bye.